Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salam ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam amma ba'd. Habati fillah. I was reflecting on some of the comments that I came across, and I've heard this claim for quite some time over the many years. And the people were criticizing one of the du'at al-khair because he's not teaching them Arabic, and he's teaching them. The people tend to have a view, some of the people, a small minority of the people have a view that if someone is not teaching Arabic, that there's some conspiracy to keep the people dumb so that they depend upon them. And I will say categorically that I know from du'at al-khair that this is not the case. And this is really a type of wicked conspiracy, and it shows how little many of the English speakers, and especially some people who do a little bit of talib al-ilm, maybe they go away a year or two or in the beginning of their seeking knowledge, that they really just have little understanding. And this is a shameful claim. And why I want to show that this shows that we do not really respect knowledge as a community in the West, that it's really not respected, unlike other countries. Let me give you an example. For example, if you go to Ethiopia, you don't hear the shabab, the youth there of Ahl Sunnah, or even other than Ahl Sunnah, attacking their scholars and attacking their du'at who teach them in Oromo, or who teach them in Tigray, or who teach them, or Tigrinya, or who teach them in Amharic. You don't see that. Instead, they are happy and excited to seek knowledge from them, and even some of them know Arabic as well, but they still sit at the feet of their people who are teaching them tafsir in Arabic and their language. But what you find in the English-speaking community, no. They will criticize and attack. They don't respect knowledge. This is, we have a ta'ifa, a group of people who are like this. They say, oh, why aren't you bringing the people to the kalam of Sheikh Fawzan, or Sheikh so-and-so, or Sheikh so-and-so? Of course, those are the ulama rabbaniyun. Those are the major scholars. And we exalt their speech over the speech of others as far as speech. But we don't exalt anyone's speech over the book and the sunnah of the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. What I'm trying to articulate to you, ahabati fillah, is the scholars and those Islamic universities. I've never heard any of the scholars, except for on a couple occasions, certain scholars, and I don't know what's going on, but I don't hear any of the major scholars, and even a lot of the minor scholars. I've heard this only from one or two individuals that it's come to me. But most of the scholars view the students of knowledge that they are training them to go back to their country and teach the people. Meaning that if a student of knowledge is from Sweden, he's going to go back to Sweden and teach them in Swedish. And that if a student of knowledge is from Holland, he's going to teach them in Dutch. And that if a student of knowledge is from America or the UK, he's probably going to go back and teach his people in English. That's what the purpose is. The purpose is people go to seek the knowledge, not to just translate. They go to learn the principles in the usul so they can raise up their community. And they're going to raise up the masses by what? By Arabic? No. They will raise them by teaching them in the language they understand. There will be students of knowledge from amongst them, very few, and there will be the masses, which is the many. So it's very important that we have to understand some of these issues around seeking knowledge and about calling to the scholars and so on and so forth, because many people, they have all these weird claims and weird ideas, but I don't hear this from the scholars. I don't hear it now, and I didn't hear it in the past. So I don't understand. I do understand, but I think this comes from a lot of the people's lack of understanding. And even sometimes this comes from some people who've done a little bit of talib al-ilm. I don't hear big students of knowledge saying this, but I hear some people who maybe they studied in Egypt a year or two, they learned some Arabic language, they did this, but what have they done as far as sitting under the beards of those ulama? And then they make these weird conspiratorial claims against the du'at. This, ahabati fillah, I'm saying this defending our du'at to sunnah in the West. And I'm not considering myself from amongst them. But what I am doing is defending the honor of others, because if you take the honor of those students away, then it will just open the door only for the juhal, for the ignorant ones. And it will open the door for shar, because the masses cannot go to the scholars of Ahl Sunnah that speak Arabic, or speak in another language necessarily, unless they know that language. But the masses of the people in the English-speaking community, they need English speakers to articulate the knowledge they gained and the usul that they gained and the minhaj they gained and the aqidah they gained, articulate it so the people understand. And this was the way of the prophets, alayhim afdal salatu wassalam. And we ask Allah the Almighty to accept our good and forgive our evil. Anything I said that was correct is from Allah Azza wa Jal. Anything I said that was incorrect is from myself and the shaitan. Wa sallallahu wa sallam ala nabiyyina Muhammad.